Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am the Sparkle Queen, aka the Angel. I want to share some red flags that I have found useful based on my own experience. I want to share them with you because hopefully it's informative and you take away from it what you want to. The first one on my list is take your time when it comes to getting to know new people. It's a cliche one, but many will forget, sometimes based on the energy and how the person makes you feel. You can get carried away very easily and put on rose-colored glasses. When someone has an agenda and they don't really want you to see who they are as a person, it's very easy to get lost in the source and take them and put them on the pedestal and see them for what they want to present to you. Time is how you tell who the person is, their substance. Really just take time to analyze. What do they do? What are they into? What is their beliefs? Who's their friends? What type of family do they come from? These things will be revealed in due time. And if someone is trying to hoodwink you, they can't maintain consistency. So they will, in the end, start showing their true colors. But just to save yourself from being hurt or heartbroken or feeling of betrayal, withhold some parts of yourself. Also, my second thing is what you tell them. Okay, try not to share too much information about things that's happened to you in the past, because sometimes people use that as a way in to manipulate and to play on certain emotions to get you to partner with them or try to make you feel like there is a connection. It can be a manipulative tactic, and if you want to test the waters, tell this person something that you do not mind everybody knowing. And if you have a dispute with the person, see will they bring that information back up to you. Or test the water and ask them something, which is really my third thing as well. Even though I say, and it just sounds like I'm contradicting myself, but hear me out. Even though I say to you, do not tell them personal things about yourself, you also need to test them as well. So to find out what kind of character this person is, you should always test people, test the waters, because then it will give you your confirmation. Without testing them, how would you know you're looking to see something, or if you have a hunch about something, then you want to test it out. It could be pretend I'm having this problem, see if they are supportive to you. You could be like, oh, you borrow £10 and see if they will lend it to you. It could be something else. It will all depend on whatever the situation and the circumstances is. It's just an example, but testing people out is very important. The third thing is listening. When the person speaks, listen to what they say. Does their words match up with their actions? Do they walk the walk? Do they talk the talk? You know, because all too often people will say a whole load of crap, and when it comes down to reality, there is no actions. As an example, someone can tell you they love you. You might be in a relationship and it's very easy to say I love you. However, you don't feel loved. You do not feel like this person does the things necessary or behave in a way to show love. So if someone's actions is showing that they don't love you, but their mouth is telling you that they love you, the truth is their action speaks for the heart, and the heart is what tells the truth. They don't love you. It's probably not personal, because they probably don't even love themselves. So anybody that don't love themselves cannot love you. So if they've come from a background where there's been no love shown to them, and they've come from a broken home, or they feel some form of resentment, particularly towards their mother, or abandonment, or anything like that, then please do not expect this woman to come along and show you some type of real top drawer love, because to them it's an idea or a version of what they think love could be. However, that love that they're presenting could be very dysfunctional, and they also need to be shown what love is. So if you see anybody that's of that nature, listen to them, listen to what they say about the people that's been around them before you stepped on the scene, and you will know by that is a red flag that this person will not be able to love you, particularly if they're not patient. So listening is very key. And asking, the fourth thing, make sure you ask the right questions. Never listen and assume the answer. If you want to know something, answer the right questions. Start putting away those questions, what's your favorite position, or just very minuscule low level questions about them. Take an interest, even if it's just for one day, take an interest and ask these questions that you want to know. Where do they see themselves? How long was their previous relationship? Even pause and see what they say regarding that relationship. Are they taking any accountability to that relationship? Are they slagging off the previous person? That kind of person that slags off or doesn't take accountability. So I would advise you to be very cautious, because if you date somebody like this or become friends with somebody like this, you will be the next person on their list to be slagged off. And the worst one, a step further than that, is somebody that literally blames everybody they've come into contact with throughout their life and don't hold any accountability for any actions that's ever been taken against or within the situation. They're always looking outwards and never looking inwards. That person is telling you that I'm stagnated, I am not growing, I have no plans to grow. So that is very much important when you want to take somebody serious. Do not think that because they've now entered into your circle that they're going to just miraculously change, because they will not. They've never had to. You would have to, if you want to, you would have to explain to them, but keep them at a certain level in your life until they're ready to elevate. If you've worked on yourself, you cannot go backwards, and you cannot pick up that is not willing and not ready to grow, not ready to educate themselves. If you pick up somebody like that, don't be alarmed if they become toxic in your world. Got to learn to drop them. So I believe that's the fourth. So the fifth thing is anybody that is controlling, whether it's you or the person that you have come into contact with. Controlling can take many forms. That could just be a way of wanting you to do something that they believe you should do. Now, this could be more likely to ship, or sometimes even close friends. The truth about control, no matter what it is, whether it's a relationship or close friends, people individually need to make their own choices. If you are becoming angry, or someone is becoming angry with you because they feel you're not listening to them, they shouldn't even be putting in that much effort anyway. If they've explained something you don't want to listen, then you're not the right person, you're not the right union, you're not the right couple. If someone is becoming angry with that and continuously becoming angry with that, then they don't really understand the concept that we all control ourselves. The truth be told is we can't control each other, just ourselves. So control is a red flag if someone has this extreme control and they want extreme control over you. So let's move on to number 6. Number 6 is people that tell lies, or people you've caught in a lie. Now, when someone lies to you, it automatically makes you lose trust, because you think, well, why is this person lying about so simple, something so minuscule? And once if you're with somebody, I'm going to tell you the truth actually on this one, something else I want to say. If you are around somebody that feels like they cannot tell you the truth at all times, that is not your person. When you meet the right person, it's within them to want you to know everything that there is to know. They will not want to lie to you to jeopardize anything with you. If you're with someone that can tell you a lie very easily, you are with the wrong person, particularly if they don't see that it's causing you some type of upset or pain, and they are continuously lying, they're not telling the truth. You should not battle with somebody like this or keep going over the same scenario and different issues. It could be big secrets, it could be small secrets, and you confront them and they're lying. Particularly if you're married and partner who's lying, and unfortunately you've married into this person. But the truth, if you was the right person for them, they would not do anything that would jeopardize the relationship that they have with you. So just know that if you're with a liar and you're finding that she or he is constantly lying about every little thing, and serious things, big things, it doesn't really matter. You're going to have to reevaluate that connection that you formed with this person. No one deserves to be lied to, and the person should really want to just come out and say what it is that they have to. If you ask them a question, no matter how uncomfortable no matter how uncomfortable it is, And they have to know that there's something that even if you leave them, that build up dust and make you see that it's something they will not do again. But if they're still doing it, it's lack of respect and they don't really care on losing you. So let's go on to number 7, which is another red flag, and that is anyone with sexual porn addictions. Now, that when certain men are young, they might be interested in things like pornos and it's probably all a bit fun, a bit childish at that time. But when someone has got an addiction and they base their sexual connection on you performing these kinds of acts when you meet them, or they expect these, they have that. Sorry, let me pause. When a man, and I'm going to say some women as well, have put their attention to porn addiction, they have a very unrealistic and unhealthy sex when it comes to having sex with an actual person, because with that comes a lot of masturbation. They have created an unnatural connection to that, so then they may never feel satisfied in the relationship with an actual person because they want this utopia feeling that they get from masturbation, and they may find that you don't perform the certain acts or act a certain way for them to see that they see through these these actors, because even though it's sordid, it's disgusting, it's still acting to a certain degree. If you're with somebody like this, I know that you probably will support, but it's normal, and you're with someone and they're having sex with you, but then in the next breath they're going into the toilet with the baby oil and looking at some of these porn magazines and think this is natural. It is not a natural way of being. It's not healthy sex. You should be exploring that with your partner, and if you are wanting your partner to have these unnatural acts, then there's obviously something going on with that person. And sometimes it's not even the act of having sex through the porno or the masturbation. The emotion is coming from somewhere else. That even could be feelings of neglect, feelings of abandonment, and they're using that as a way to feel some form of love within, and they're not delving deep to find out why they're doing that. So red flag, okay? Is this number 7 or 8? I think it's number 8. Yes, I think it's number 8. Let's move on. Number 8 is purely for the women, the man and the woman. Another red flag is if you meet somebody, and whether it's a man or a woman, and they've actually done abortions and they've had more than one abortion. It is a telltale sign that the person is just committed to lust and not an actual commitment. Abortions, in a respect, are wrong. And I know there are some circumstances that cause people to get in, but what we're focusing on in this discussion is that you've met somebody and you're rushing into the relationship and you're having sex within the same week, and you find out you're pregnant in 4 weeks, and then one of you don't want that baby. And normally it's the man, he doesn't want the baby. Now, as from a woman's perspective, it is now down to her decision to go through with the pregnancy or have an abortion. And the man thinks it's your problem, you should have protected yourself. First, I want to say to any man that thinks like this, it is not the woman's problem, it is also your problem too. If you don't want children, then you shouldn't be sleeping with anybody, full stop. Some would say, oh, if you don't want kids, then you should have protected yourself. No, if you don't want kids, you should not be sleeping with any woman, full stop. You cannot just think life is about playing around, fun, and that you can just walk away at any given time. Because not only that there's pregnancies, there is also diseases. And if you are living life vicariously without any precaution, you will pick up something along the way, and something you cannot cure. As for the women, if you are messing around and you're allowing men that do not really love you and do not care for you and care for your body, and you're allowing them to sleep with you unprotected and to semen inside of you, and then turn around and say that it's not their responsibility, it's not their, and you carry on with that pregnancy, then you will find it very hard once you've child to a man that literally will never put you on a pedestal as his wife, his woman. The child will have little or no connection with that man and his family. The child will have to feel some sense of abandonment as well. The child will not have family members and cousins on the other side. there are so many factors to messing around and having fun. And it sounds like from this standpoint that I'm the Debbie Downer and people just want to live their life and have, but when the shit hits the fan, that's when actions of whatever you've taken gets real. It becomes the reality. Children are precious and given to us by God. And even though the act was never intended to have children, that's what women and men are designed to do. So if you're having fun, unprotected, and there's children brought forth from this unprotected sexual act that you're having with someone because you feel this passion, this lustful feeling, you're gonna have to learn to curb that and control that behavior and ask yourself, what am I doing wrong? The first thing I would say is having patience, taking your time, take pigeon steps when you're getting to know someone, because some women ain't worth nothing, some men ain't worth nothing, and you can easily give your body to somebody that ain't worth the carrot. Let's move on to number 9. So number 9 is what a red flag is: the person's occupation. If you're speaking to somebody new and they're a hustler, or they basically don't work, and they're asking you for things to help them with finances or to loan money, and this is literally off the bat. Anybody that's off the bat, see that you are a woman of profession or a man of some type of profession, and you pick up somebody that is really don't have a goal, don't have any ambition, doesn't have any drive within them, they're not even encouraging to you, do not be surprised if you take on a relationship with this kind of person that they would not be financially draining you and wanting you to help carry them, or to capitalize off of you to help them elevate and your finances, your credit system. And sometimes when people get into a relationship with people that have not put that drive before they met you, they will start to bring your finances down. They will start to bring your credit score down because they are gambling. It's not their money and it's not their credit score because they've already ruined their own, and they are gambling that on your finances. They're coming out with business ideas on your finances. They're trying to meddle in your job or whatever you do if you're a business owner and change things within whatever you've created for yourself. Be very mindful, because these things can take quite a toll and a stress on the relationship, and they have no ways and means of paying you back. So you do not want to end up in debt from anybody else as an extension. Normally things like that come from people that you marry or people that you date, and they have access somehow to your finances. You should always have your private accounts and you keep your money separate. That's if you're dating for a long time, what you call cohabitating, or you are in a marriage. You have your separate money and you set up your checking and your savings separately. If you are having any money you're sharing for the bills, that goes into a next kitty for the bills, whether it's your mortgage, your rent, your light, your food, whatever you're paying for the house to run a household. When it comes to loaning large amounts of money to your partner and it's so immediate, really check this person's background. Is this person a gigolo? Are they just there to just extract and they can't give back? And they are really making you become on the poverty breadline, and then before you know it, you're swimming in debt. Just be mindful. That's all I'm going to say regarding finances. And when you meet someone and you begin to start taking them seriously, you have the conversation about where they're at with money. It's uncomfortable, but you need to have it. Do not be moving in and then discussing money after that, because when the light cuts out, you both don't want to be looking each other in the eye in the darkness, telling each other, I love you, because that's not going to help pay the bills. All right, let's move on to number 10. So number 10 is a wild card. This one is for men that believe that they should have more than one woman because they're a man. Any man, even if he's religious, that believes he should have is in error. It goes one man to one woman. And the reason why is because every time we pick a partner, we are marrying them through sex. That's how we consummate the marriage. That is a marriage. Sex act, unprotected particularly, is the marriage. So when you spiritually are having sex with multiple women, they will never be your wife, it will be your concubine. And I hate this word, but there is no other, because I know that women ain't concubines. That woman that is another woman's husband. That woman belongs to another, a man belongs to another woman. Spiritually, when you look at an individual, you can see whether that man that man she's with is her true husband, or she actually has another husband. So when a man takes women and picks himself a wife, and he decides to marry more women in the man world, or through the imam, or even if you're a man that's not physically marrying them in the flesh, but you are having multiple relationships and ending up with 3-4 baby mothers, and you are floating between the house and you see yourself as the main man in all these women's life, they're not your wife, they're not your partner. You have taken another man's wife, and unfortunately those women are under some type of spell that they're not even seeing it themselves. I know I probably get a lot of stick for this one, because many have been indoctrinated through man's teaching that a man can. In fact, darling, no, you can't, because we are physical, we are spiritual before we are physical, and anything that is of law in the spirit overrides anything in the natural, and I know that for a fact. So if you want to challenge me, you can, because you'll be wrong. And I know for a fact that men that have more than one woman are in error of the spiritual law, and you have no right to steal another man's wife. It doesn't matter if you met her in the natural first, but if that woman is revealed by God, if God revealed to that woman about her husband, and she's got a husband that's got multiple wives or more than one wife, she will see through God that that's not her husband, and that she has partnered herself through consummation as a concubine. Anyway, let's move on. Okay, no, let's not move on. I'm going to leave it there at number 10. Okay, it was great sharing with you. Anybody you meet says any of these things to you throughout the time, if you follow the steps of getting to know them and you take pigeon steps, then you use this opportunity of this conversation that we are having together to listen out for any of these red flags. Okay? And that is your cue to ask further probing questions. And if it doesn't sit right, it probably isn't. All right, I am the Sparkle Queen. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for joining me. Until next time, goodbye.